You ever just been swimming around on a hot summer day and suddenly, out of nowhere, your muscles begin to convulse as 2.3 volts of electricity is being pumped through your body every 2.5 milliseconds? No? Well, if you'd been swimming through this stretch of water in the Chicago Sanitary and Shipping Canal, you'd probably have a different answer. Back in 2002, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers installed the first of two 160-foot-long electrical grids, just about 30 feet below the water surface in this small stretch of canal just outside of Romeoville, Illinois. These grids were installed to help protect against Asian carp, an invasive non-native species of fish that was brought to the U.S. throughout the 1960s and 1970s. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people have seen these fish, whether they realize it or not, because these big old fish pranksters have gone viral a few times for their human slapping antics. But these funny fish slaps on boat folk isn't the only reason that these electrified grids exist. Asian carp actually pose a huge threat to native fish species and local fishing industries that call the Great Lakes their home. The reason why these Asian carp were brought over in the first place was to help with algae management in fish ponds, as these big old guys are known to love gobbling up that green stuff. Though, not too long after they were introduced, because of some flooding, these hungry boys were able to escape and make their way into the Mississippi River. This, in retrospect, was a pretty big oopsie. Asian carp are able to thrive in our waterways and are capable of outcompeting just about every native species of fish that can be found in the Great Lakes. According to someone who is far smarter than me and far more well-versed in this topic than I will probably ever be, they believe that if these Asian carp were able to establish themselves in Lake Michigan, they could potentially ruin the absolutely massive $7 billion fishing industry by completely decimating and destroying the local fish populations and the overall ecosystem in the Great Lakes. This meant that we needed to come up with some sort of new solution to this problem. And as you know, the solution that we eventually came to fix this carp dilemma was creating this death trap instead. These electrical grids allowed us to deter these carp from even trying to cross through to the Great Lakes by just zapping them until they leave. It's basically just a huge fish taser. And even though this evil genius contraption is so dangerous and deadly to humans that even the Coast Guard won't attempt to try and save you if you fall in, the worst that can happen to these carp is maybe getting paralyzed or getting knocked out for a short period of time. So far, this has worked out fairly well at keeping a majority of these Asian carp from ever trying to cross into Lake Michigan. Without it, many of the fish communities that reside within the Great Lakes would suffer immensely from the overwhelming competition that these Asian carp would pose, as well as putting the 75,000 jobs from the commercial fishing industry at risk. This terrifying stretch of water in the Chicago Sanitary and Shipping Canal is currently one of the most important and integral parts in the prosperity of the Great Lakes. Without it, a lot of these communities that are supported by the lakes, like the fishing industry, would be put at a huge risk. It truly is a hugely important and crucial part in allowing our communities to thrive. Just stay away from swimming in it.